Here we go. We welcome you here inside Canlan Sports Leaf Center here in West Dundee, Illinois for the second matchup in as many nights between your NIU Huskies and the Midland Warriors. Last night's action featured a 5-3 victory in favor of Midland over the Northern Illinois Huskies. Your Huskies are back in action tonight, not once, but twice. D1 starting here in just a couple minutes. And a rematch between them and the Midland Warriors. And then immediately after this game, we'll get you tuned in for D3 action between D3 Huskies and Division II Loyola University Chicago. So excited to have you here. I'm James Goronsky up in the booth, and the team's just about to take the ice here. So the story headlines from last night: Luka Kovic, speedy forward, number 25 for Midland, scored 3 goals last night. His first hat trick of this season, was the difference maker in last night's matchup between these two teams. Tonight, starting goaltenders, Andre Patha making his first start of the season for Midland. And for Northern Illinois, it's looking to be Ben Vucci in net, who comes in with 4 games played, 23 goals against, .860 save percentage, no shutouts. For more on our starting lineups, we will send it down to ice level for our PA announcer, followed by our nation's national anthem. Back up in the booth, I'm James Goronsky, and we are wired and ready here in West Dundee for our second matchup between these two teams. Huskies looking for a little bit of revenge after the 5-3 defeat yesterday night. as we get set for the opening face-off. Eddington and Ian McHenry on the back end for Midland. Keaton Peters and Jim Franklin for Northern Illinois. And Maldonado faces off against Tommy Wardus, and Wardus won it. Coming back the other way. He's had the puck on his stick, and he was stripped of it by Peters. Nice play. Franklin able to get it out of there, and now this rolls in off the stick of Larson, and now in behind Benvucci. This one kept off the skate. Maldonado able to go through. Evans pressuring, and now back the other way they come. Jim Franklin keeps it out at the blue line. Springing Keaton Peters looking to start something. Trevor Trim had other plans. This one goes back off the power of his stick. Benvucci out to play it, careful. A couple of Warriors were in the vicinity, and now Olson unable to keep it in at the line. Zimmerman chasing after. And Chunny's brought down, and that'll be a penalty. Daniel Suda. And Zimmerman slow to get up. So tripping on Suda, Zimmerman's able to get back to his feet and skate under his own power, but we will see an early power play just a little bit over a minute in. Huskies trying to get something going here. They had a 4-on-4 goal last night. Let's see if they can keep up that pressure. Strong play on their power plays last night. Lots of shots, but ultimately the only goal came on the 4-on-4, which ultimately ended up being a huge difference maker in that game. Here's a chance on goal, and that's a save made. First action of the season for Patha. Back at Peters. Peters out high with Evans, plays catch. Peters to the net. That one, he was looking for a deflection from Clement. This is Peters walking the line, playing back and forth with Evans. Now Peters back to Evans. Roden Evans, the leading goal scorer for Northern Illinois, gives it over to Peters, and then he looks for Maldonado. Touch pass over to Evans from Peters. It's these three names. Now Evans throws one to the net. It's tipped, and then a stick got in the way. The captain, Eddington, saved a sure goal. Boy, if he did not get his stick in front of that rolling puck, it was way out of the reach of the skate of the young netminder Andre Patha. Would be a 1-0 game if it weren't for his stick. Porzonduk in behind the net with 45 seconds remaining on this power play. Couple of shots we've seen. Decent pressure in the first minute of this power play. And now a turnover in behind the net. Coming out with it out high to Franklin. He shoots one, blocked by Eddington. Pardon me, that was Justice, and now we have a stoppage of play. Puck comes up, or net comes off of its moorings, and so with 28 remaining on this power play on the minor to Suda. Matt Martin. Faceoff winds up in the corner. Matt Martin trying to come out with it, and that's out of the reach. Nice play by Justice to get it out there. Maybe one last gasp on this power play. It's floated into the bench and out of play. It's a face-off controlled by Midland. This is Luka Kovic. Pardon me. Jack Royer, and he's forced in behind. Able to get it out. Just barely. George Smith gets it right back in. Now back the other way does come Royer. It's dumped in there by Ryan Donovan. He back checks nicely. Puck in the corner now, a couple of sweaters for each team. And ultimately, coming out with it is Tommy Wardus. He works it in behind the cage. This one's rung all the way out. Eddington spins around, finds his D partner, shoots one. It gets in the net, and that's a kick, a save, rebound, and that one was blocked. Nice right pad save initially by Benvucci on McHenry. McHenry's back to circle with it now. Leading pass, this is Wardus. Wardus is body on it a little bit by Gonzalez, and he gets the puck behind the net. Lead pass for Rizutko goes off the stick of McHenry and into the corner here. McHenry turns it over. Gonzalez in front of the net. Patha had to be ready. This is Justice leading Watton. Watton's pressured to the side, and now Jim Franklin intercepts. Gonzalez bodied off of it a little bit by Olsen, and this one goes all the way down the length of the ice, but no icing. Back to retrieve, and a turnover behind the net. Nice play by number 26, Jeff Shirkey. But ultimately they recover, and Jack Olsen, his clearing attempt goes off the stanchion, and now it comes to Luka Kovic, who had a hat trick last night, trying to spring something to get him out of the zone. Olsen, looking up for Watton, goes all the way down the length of the ice. Benvucci's out of his net to play it. Keaton Peters nearly turned over, and it is turned over. They'll call it offside, though. Wisely got a little too eager. So that stops the clock with 14:47 remaining in a scoreless period one. Maldonado wins the faceoff against Wisely, and now this one goes all the way down. Raleigh Stroud in behind the net. Another forced turnover. Maldonado tried to center. Nobody was there. Now this is Wisely coming up the left side. Chun on his right. Centering pass, and that one was too hot for him to handle. It goes into the corner. And it slides just outside the blue line. Collision at center between Clement and Eddington. This one is floated all the way down the length of the ice for Northern Illinois icing. Face-off win. All the way back to McHenry. Trevor Trim goes to the front of the net. He has to retrieve in the corner. He's pressured off of it by Severn Anderson. This one floats in, rolling into the glove. Momentarily enough to stop the play from Benvucci. Roden Evans tied up on the faceoff. Coming out with it. Donovan rings it around. It's taken by the Huskies. Now Donovan's got it on his stick. A chance to the net. Nice play by Luke Marks, and now a stoppage of play. Luke Marks prevented the shot from getting away, but we'll see what we have here. It's going to be a penalty on Ethan Koval. So Midland will go to the power play. We'll see their power play action for the first time in this first period. Couple power play goals scored last night by this Midland offense. Let's see if they can do it again tonight. Chun Right off the face-off. Over to Brechko. Chun walking around the blue line. Plays catch with Wisely. Eddington parks in between the hash marks. Back and forth with Wisely. Across. Brechko. His shot partially blocked by Martin. Coming out with it is Chun. Out high to Wisely. Wisely's shot. And that one's blocker to the corner by Benvucci. Eddington and Ian McHenry come with it. Wisely out high. Across to Brechko. Brechko to the center. Out of the reach of Eddington. This comes back to Wisely off a skate. Chun across to Brechko. Winding up is Wisely. He missed the net. Peters had it taken off his stick by Chun. Down low McHenry. And now Chun along the boards again. It's over to Brechko. He's got a lane. Shooting one. He scores. He tickled that twine. It caught the iron and then it went in. And it's a power play goal for the Red Hot. Brechko. Milan Brechko picks up his 8th goal of the season. He had one last night. And so that makes it 1-0 Midland. This one's iced after the Brechko goal by the Warriors. This comes all the way into an offensive zone face-off for Gonzalez in this Huskies offense, but it's a defensive zone face-off win for the Warriors. And springing, Watton. He's got Milankovic going to the net. Coming out with it. Justice out high. Another shot that's blocked. And now this comes all the way out to Rizutko. He gets it in the line. Shirky chasing after it. First to arrive. Stoppage of play. What do we have here? Face-off will come just outside the blue line. That face-off win by Northern Illinois. Porzondak in deep. Tommy Caldwell wearing number 11 tonight. Been wearing that number all season, but he was wearing 29 last night. Here's a centering pass for Watton that was just out of his reach. This one's retrieved by Wardus, and behind it goes. We have another stoppage of play. A face-off win. Eddington finds Weber. This one's rolling out in front. Took a funny hop off the boards. Weber in behind. Koval on him. And then Marks is pressured a bit. Nearly turned it over, but it comes to Maldonado. Micah Maldonado springing. Clement. And now Evans comes out with it. Centering pass. No one was home. Marks tried to get it right back to the front of the net, but McCaw had other ideas. And Weber throws it into the corner. It's picked off. Weber in front of the net. He got the glass with his shot. Eddington comes up from the blue line. And a centering pass. Ethan Koval was there to deny that attempt. With speed, he comes the other way. Koval, nice toe drag, but he lost the puck. Tried to recenter it. No one was home. All blue sweaters. Eddington. McCaw. Peters pressured by the goal scorer, Brechko, Wisely. This one comes to Zimmerman. He'll start the exit. In deep. Poth out the play. Peters nearly turned it over, but he was brought down to the ice. Blew a tire, and now shot to the net. Olsen comes up with it on his stick, and now we have a tripping penalty. Olsen went down. Zimmerman will go. Here's Chun with a shot. That one never made it to the net. Franklin touches up, and it's back to another Midland power play. I mentioned Zimmerman on that last play. Pardon me. It'll be Matt Martin heading to the penalty box for 2 minutes. Another face-off win. Wisely, this unit's back out on the ice. Chun across to Brechko, over to Wisely, throws one, tip. Eddington's deflection went over the net. Here's Wisely, over to Chun again. Back to Wisely once more. Return pass into the skates, kicked to his stick, and now comes to Evans, and that is thrown all the way down. Chun, springing. Brechko, look at him slicing and dicing his way through. Now he turns back, retreats, finds Wisely on the blue line. Going across, Chun, nice toe drag move, shoots one. That one is off of the shoulder of the netminder and into the net. Ding. Justice here on this face-off. Get that second unit out there. Watton goes out high. Here's a shot. Ew, nice blocker from Benvucci. Olsen picks it up. Tommy Wardas. He was looking for Justice on the one-timer. He fanned on it. Justice comes up with the puck again. Out high to Olsen. Across to Wardas. One-time shot blocked. Into the corner it goes, off the skate of Gonzalez. Wardas. And now Olsen. His shot. Never made it to the net. It goes to the corner. Wardas again. Out high. Olsen once more. Goes off the skate and deflects out to center off of Wardas. Here they come again. Justice with speed moving in. His shot, and that is right on, and a save by Benvucci. Turnover. Lukakovic. Out high again to Olsen. Tommy Wardas looking for somewhere to go with it. He goes to the net, and that's paddled aside. Rebound goes over the net. He had a wide open cage. Eddington, pardon me, Justice. Olsen to Wardas. His shot got the glass. Into the corner it goes. Power play time is over. Martin out of the box. They still have this pressure, though. Carry over. Here's Justice. Turning around with it. Wardas at center. Still with lots of momentum after this power play, despite not scoring on it. This in deep, Lukakovic comes together with Porzondek. Coming out of the corner with it, on net. And that's scooped up by Benvucci. .7:22 remaining in period number 1 here. 1-0 Warriors. Here's a face-off win by Oh, that is a nice save by Benvucci. Looked like it went in. That was a rocket shot by Jack Royer. Trevor Trim loses the face-off, and now this comes out to center for Royer to take it. His pass is picked off by Keaton Peters, and he's able to slice his way through. Knifing in, his shot is gloved down. Rebound comes to Zimmerman. Trim on him. This comes to the circle. Guarienti goes around. Trim able to get as far as center. Over to Keaton Peters again, and then his pass deflects way out of play. Here's a face-off win. This one's thrown in by Jim Franklin. Eddington from behind his own cage. Zimmerman, pressure on him. Brechko gets it as far as center, and now Franklin makes him turn back and retreat again. McHenry. Brechko had it taken off his stick. Nice play by Franklin. Over to Zimmerman, and the pass was out of his reach. It was in his skates. Quality opportunity failed on. Maldonado. George Smith comes out of the corner with it. Turnaround shot on net. Deflection. Save. Patha. Rebound. Clearing attempt. George Smith keeps it in. Fakes the shot. Now he tries the shot and wisely blocks it to the corner. Zimmerman. Nice pressure from these Huskies. Franklin tried a shot. It gets to the net, and Patha had to be ready. Blockered it away. Another try from a difficult angle by Zimmerman, and that one was denied once again. Boy, Patha has been sharp so far tonight. George Smith leads Porzondak. Now Franklin out with it. Franklin up the right wing side. Takes it to the net. That's pokered away by Patha. And now Evans with a backhand on net. That is denied once again by Patha. Evans comes up with it again. This is Porzondak out high. Across. Shot on net. Never made it to the net. Evans comes out with it after the block. Olsen in behind. Maldonado along the corner. Now Evans once again. They go back and forth, and now this is Watton. Chasing after it is Luka Kovic. Out to play it is Benvucci. Dangerous. Oh. Eddington had a wide open net. He missed the cage. Pardon me, that was Justice. And now Watton. Down below. They fight for it. Now Justice out right wing. Another turnover. Here's Evans on his backhand. A forehand. Nice save by Patha on him. Quality opportunity once again from the Huskies. Kept in momentarily, but back the other way. It's Justice. Stopping on a dime. Finding his D-man, and this one goes into the glove of Benvucci off the Guarienti shot. There's a face-off win by Wardas. NIU forces a change of possession, and now they look to get something going. Down by one on the tail end of this period. Here's Koval. Out to play it is Patha. Patha looks for Guarienti, and that one comes into the corner again. Larson. And now McHenry. Eddington comes together with him. Turnover. Matt Martin rolls it on net, and that's scooped up by the netminder Patha for a stoppage of play with 3:47 remaining here in period number one. Martin won the face-off, but quick to get it were the Warriors. Matthew McCaw in behind the net with a couple of white sweaters on him. He falls down to the ice. Coming up with it is Koval. His clearing attempt is kept in by Olsen. Along the boards, fight for the puck. Trevor Trim comes up with it. Weber has a nice quality opportunity. His shot is blocked off the stick of Koval and into the netting. Wisely against Maldonado on this face-off, and Wisely won it. Stroud rings it around. Coming out with it is Clement. Clement, nice defensive play by Stroud, and now back the other way comes Chun. Chun finding Brechko, but the pass was broken up by Evans. Brechko gets it back though, and then his pass finds no one. This one's springing. Maldonado tripped up, might be a penalty shot. And let's see. Maldonado not happy about it. They'll give him a power play. Royer will go to the box. Boy, what a quality opportunity. Maldonado had the game tire on his stick, and he was brought down. And Maldonado went to center like he was going to prepare for a penalty shot. But to no avail, the ref said otherwise. Royer to the box in a 2-minute power play for the Huskies. We got the majority of this period on the power play. Here is Maldonado finding George Smith. Toe drag. His shot is blocked. Eddington. That stung him a little bit. It comes to Smith again. Tried to go through to Peters, and that is deflected into the netting. Eddington is in some discomfort, not putting any pressure on that left leg. And he's going to head to the locker room. We'll see if he returns in the second period, but they're down their best defenseman on this power play for the Huskies. Clement working hard below the goal line. Maldonado comes in for help. And able to come out with it is Clement. The pass was just out of the reach of Evans, and so the Huskies will have to regroup here. Vucci came out to play it, nearly turned it over to Wardas. Evans was there for the assistance, though, so he'll spark an outbreak. Maldonado turns around. Now he shoots. Scores! Maldonado! Tie game. Power play goal. Micah Maldonado. It's 1-1. That's Maldonado's 4th goal of the season. Tied for the team lead. It was just a matter of time before the Huskies scored. They've been playing brilliantly on the offensive side here. And there's not much you can do for Midland when you're down your best defenseman on a power play. So it's 1-1 with 1:18 remaining in period number 1. Huskies ice this one. It'll come all the way back to their own zone. Lots of positives to take out of this period thus far for Northern Illinois. They've looked like they're the faster team the last 5 minutes or so here. Here's a face-off win by Luka Kovic. From help, this is McHenry down low to Luka Kovic. He tries to get it to the front of the net. His attempt goes through the crease. Kept in by McHenry. And now a stoppage of play. This puck rolls into the bench. Here's a face-off win to Olsen. Justice with 1 minute remaining in period number 1. We have a tie game here from West Dundee. Here's Jim Franklin trying to break through. On the stick of Olsen, now he turns it over to Rizutko. Rizutko to the net, looking for a deflection. That one went to the corner. This one, Martin looked to center to Rizutko. That pass is picked off by Olsen, and now back comes Watton the other way. On Porzondak, he'll just dump it in deep and get a line change. Zimmerman with 4 on the clock. This one just rolls into the corner. That'll do it for period number 1. Lots of positives to take away for the Huskies after 1 period. Lots of offensive pressure. Great play. And the goal from Maldonado. Shots are just about even through the first period. 11-10 in favor of the Huskies. From a tie game here in Leaf Center. And we will be right back after this intermission break on Huskies Nation. we welcome you back inside Canlin Sports Leaf Center here in West Dundee, Illinois, where we see a scoreboard reading 1-1. Scoring in that first period for the Warriors was the red-hot Milan Brečko with his second goal in as many games and his 8th goal of the season. Scoring for Northern Illinois, Micah Maldonado on the power play picks up his 4th goal of the season. And fun fact, for those of you watching, Rodden Evans picks up point number 100 in his career with the assist on that goal. What a remarkable stat for him. We are just about to get set here in period 2. And we are underway. This puck rolls in to the Huskies' defensive zone. Possession to start this one. McHenry and now Larson going in deep. Warda's in front of the net. Nobody there. Now a shot. That one goes wide. Off the stick of Donovan. And now he comes together with Franklin in behind the net. Warda's there. Clearing attempt failed. Donovan picks it off. Lots of pressure here to start this period. His shot hits the glass. Now McHenry rings it around. Evans. And now a stoppage of play here. Got a holding penalty. So to the power play, Midland goes. Jim Franklin will sit for 2 minutes. We'll get another look at this Warrior power play. Chun centering McHenry and Eddington. On the back end, Brečko and Wisely. But Gonzalez finds Rzutko on his backhand. He scores! Shorty! Rzutko picks up the goal, and it's 2-1 Huskies. Rzutko with his 2nd goal of the season. What an eventful first minute. Jim Franklin gets the bench. Sits in the box for 2 minutes for hooking and back the other way. The tables turn and Rzutko picks up his 2nd of the season. And it's 2-1 Huskies. After the Rzutko goal, this one is rung around. Eddington out high. Nice to see him back on the ice after that injury in period 1. Across. Here's a shot by Wardas, blocked by Porzondek. Nice play by him. Watton. Olsen. Out high again. This is Justice. Back to Olsen. Trouble controlling it. He regains possession. Goes out high to Justice. Justice. Shoots one wide. Here is Oltko, one-timer shot. That got the glass from Wardas, and now back the other way comes Shirky with speed on his backhand. Throws it to the net. That one goes through the crease. And we have a stoppage of play here. .44 seconds remaining on the Jim Franklin minor. This penalty and this faceoff will come all the way back into the offensive zone of the Huskies on this power play, which they have already scored a shorthanded goal on. Justice stumbles, keeps his footing. Now he looks for Watton in front of the net. Instead, it rolls to Wardus, and that one is cleared out of there wisely. Here's Brechko coming in. He finds McHenry. Oh, nice play. Stripped of it. Now Chun, a shot on his backhand. Never made it to the net. Now another try that rolls in. And getting it with his right pad was Ben Vucci. Here is a chance for George. He goes to the front. Rolls out. Penalty time over. Jim Franklin out of the box. This one, Zimmerman. Lofts it into the corner. Rung around. Weber awaiting at center. He'll slash it in there. Ben Vucci out of his net to get it. Marks. Broad and Evans. Looking for Koval. Instead they have to turn around. Brechko looking for Trim, but that one was picked off nicely by Weitzel. This one out. One shot by Trim, and that one got the glass and out. Rickles back out in front. Royer from the circle. That one stopped. Trim. Rebound was out of his reach. Now it's Royer again. That one off the side of the net. Getting it with his paddle was Vucci. Caldwell couldn't get it. And now in front of the net, Trim scores! Trevor Trim with his second goal in as many nights. Picks up his second goal of the season, and he's tied the game at 2. So this game is tied. Huskies trying to get right back into the scoring column, but they'll have to turn back here. Porzondik out of his reach. Nice play by Brechko. Pressuring Serkey. We have a stoppage of play. This face-off will come all the way back into the Huskies' attacking zone. Gonzalez to take the face-off. Had the primary assist on that Rizzuto goal. He mashes Royer in behind. Still maintaining possession. This is Wisely. Here they come again. This is Chun. Shot on net. That's blockered away by Vucci. And then going crashing into the net is Stroud, and the net comes off its moorings. That will cause a whistle. There's a face-off win. Suda down low. Peters. Zimmerman lost it to Justice. And now Olsen springs Luka Kovic. He is upended by Matt Martin. Crowd likes that. Watton picks it up, however. Watton circling with it. And now it's that one's picked off by Zimmerman. Zimmerman trying to beat Watton. He'll turn around, find Peters. Peters had a bouncing puck. He's taken to the corner now. Evans in there to help. Luka Kovic in on him. Battle continues along the boards. Now, some extracurricular activity. There is no penalties assessed. Play continues. Zimmerman down there with Luka Kovic. Rodden Evans there. Now it comes to Justice. He tries to ring it around and does. Watton. Nice keep in by Rodden Evans. This one comes just outside of the zone. Luka Kovic trying to go across the Justice. That one was defended by Marks. Marks gives a rough ride to Luka Kovic. Back the other way comes Zimmerman. His shot, that one's patted away by Patha. And now another chance rolls on net. Sticked away Patha. Rebound from Zimmerman. Misses the net. Comes out to Franklin. And now Maldonado. His shot never made it to the net. It was blocked by Watton. There to set up the play, Benfucci. Marks. Marks trying to skate through. Turned it over. Back the other way. Here's a chance. Into the glove of Benfucci. He stoned Andrew Larson cold. And he keeps this game a 2-2 tie with 13:07 in period number 2. Face off. And to ring it around. Took a funny hop off the stanchion right to an offensive possession for McHenry in this offense of the Warriors. Shot previously missing the net from Tommy Wardas, and now back the other way comes Gonzalez with the puck on his stick. Centering pass, this rolls in on Patha. He covers for a stoppage of play. Gonzalez wins the faceoff. This comes back to Borzondek. And now we have a stoppage of play. There will be a penalty assessed. Looks like the Huskies will head back to the power play. Oh, pardon me. They're going to call it on Rzutko, the goal scorer. And instead of a Huskies power play, we'll see a Warriors power play. It looked like Rzutko was the one who was tripped up there. To no avail. He sits for 2 minutes, and here's a chance for the Warriors to take the lead. Luka Kovic to begin this power play. It's flipped out of there by Jim Franklin. Keaton Peters back to play it below his goal line. His clearing attempt is kept in by Luka Kovic. Now they start. Justice goes out high to Olsen. One-timer try, and that's stopped off the stick of Wardas by Benfucci. Clearing attempt failed. Kept in, and now here's Olsen, a shot to the net. That one, they score! It leaked through the 5-hole of Benfucci, and it is a 3-2 game in favor of Midland now. Power play goal. So after the goal, it's 3-2. Huskies down by 1 again. Really a back and forth game here. Trim flips this on his backhand. Royer in to play it. Now Trim along the boards. Right back to it they go. Stroud was able to corral it into the corner. Marks bodies down Weber. He gets back to his feet. Now he's got the puck on his stick. From below the goal line, tried to get it back to Trim, but it comes back to Weber again. His shot denied by Benvucci. Here's Rodden Evans finding Maldonado. Lost the puck in his stick. Now here's Koval going down low to Rodden Evans. They give the goal to Watton. He was the one who got a piece of it in front of the net on the Justice shot. Back the other way comes Guarienti. Now Marks finding Maldonado. Maldonado, who has a goal tonight. Lost it to Brechko, and now Brechko with speed comes in. Brechko, look at him move. Finding Wisely, but the pass was in his skates. Eddington from out high, finding Brechko. His shot's blocked, and into the netting it goes off of the shin pad of Marks. Another face-off win by Wisely. Brechko gets it out high to McHenry. And now comes to Chun. Chun just reaching Brechko, and now it comes to the other side to Wisely. Wisely kept in, rolls to the corner. Chun to retrieve. First to it. Now he centers. Wisely's shot. That one going off the blocker of Benvucci. Get a breather. Off the stick of Matt Martin, goes the length of the ice for a icing that is waved off. So Eddington, the captain, has to retreat. Chun brought down to the ice is McHenry. There'll be another penalty. Eddington out high, comes outside, and now the Huskies will touch up Matt Martin. And to the box goes Caden Weitzel. Back to the power play goes Midland. Chance to double up the Huskies here. Justice to take the face-off, wins it. Olsen lets it go, and that one got through Vucci, but it goes to the corner. Now another try, centering pass. Unable to get it was Luka Kovic. He finds it back to Olsen. His shot into the glove, seen all the way by Benvucci. Chun wins the faceoff. Back. Brechko a shot. And that is handled by Benvucci. Another faceoff win by Chun. To the corner this comes. Wisely works out high. One-timer try by Brechko. Got the glass, and now this rolls all the way back to Wisely in his defensive zone. Brechko had it hop over his stick. He's bodied by Gonzalez. McHenry maintains possession for the moment, and then it's dumped out of there. They'll get a line change on this penalty kill, which sees 1 minute remaining. Wardus in deep to retrieve Lukakovic. Wardus could not corral it. This comes to Olsen. Olsen had it taken away by Franklin. Franklin throws it into the direction of Patha, and that's stick to the corner. Here is Justice trying to move to the net. He's brought down. Nice defensive play by the Huskies. Marks. Now he's brought down. Lukakovic. Justice finds Olsen out high. Goes to Justice. Left circle. Out high to Olsen again. That one's deflected wide off the stick of Lukakovic. That does it for the penalty. Weitzel out of the box. Clearing attempt. Clement the first to it. He has to avoid a check from Lukakovic. Now Watton was looking for Guarienti. He's the first to it. Koval on him. And now he goes down below to Wardus. Errant pass finds the stick of Maldonado. And now he finds Clement. Clement coming up the left wing. Finding Rod and Evans. That one's just out of his reach. Tip to the corner. This comes out high to Borzondik. Borzondik shoots it. And that one didn't look like it ever made it to the net. The rebound ricochets in behind Patha. And now Evans looking to center again. Borzondik. Borzondik throwing it across to Evans. Evans shot. He was looking to go top cheese on Patha. He got the glass. Borzondik in deep to Evans again. Evans trying to work his way around Guarienti, but Guarienti won that battle. Trim along the boards. Weber. Now Koval. Borzondik turned it over. Here's Weber. Scores! Oh, what a bad turnover, and Zach Weber picks up his second goal of the season. And that makes it 4-2, Midland. So things have gone a little bit south. Very hot end of the first period for the Huskies and a hot start to the second, but Midland has seemed to warm to the task here. They've scored 3 unanswered goals. They're giving the goal to Trevor Trim, and that'll have his second of the night. Now Brechko scores! Oh, a rocket to the back of the net, and a 3-goal lead for Midland. And they're starting to open this game up a little bit. 5-2 Warriors. Huskies going to take a timeout to discuss this one. Yet another game. The second game, second night in a row where the Huskies have fought hard to tie it, taken the lead, and given up 4 straight unanswered goals. Ben Vucci remains in net. 6:14 remaining in period 2. 3-goal lead for the Warriors. And Gonzalez looks to spark this offense to a potential comeback. That's what they would like to do here. This is Eddington. With that goal, Brechko picks up goal number 2 on the night. Here's McHenry, out high to Eddington. His shot, that one goes wide. Here's Keaton Peters, working through center. Peters on net, blockered away by Patha. This comes to Franklin. He winds up, didn't get as much as he would have liked to on it. That one's blocked by Luka Kovic, and now back the other way. This one flipped in on net by Justice, and that's gloved by Ben Vucci. Stoppage of play with 5:32 remaining in period number 2. There's a win by Wardis on the faceoff. Brechko's backhand. Pardon me, that's Larson into the glove of Ben Vucci. Another stoppage of play. Another faceoff win by Wardis. Olsen could not hold on to it. He swarmed, but he gets it to Evans and a potential 2-on-1. Rodden Evans shoots one. That one's blockered aside by Patha. Koval. His pass is intercepted by Wardas, and now he comes in. Tommy Wardas had it taken off his stick, and it rolls in on Ben Vucci. He'll cover for a stoppage of play, and now some extracurricular activity. We'll see if any penalties are assessed. Does not look to be the case. Face-off tie-up from Martin. Coming up with possession is Guarienti now. Guarienti centering pass. He's swarmed by a couple of white sweaters, and now Zimmerman trying to spark George Smith. He throws it in deep. Zimmerman on Royer. The two come together. Borzondek finds Zimmerman. Along the board, Zimmerman tries to maintain possession. Nice stick handling. Gets it to the net. That's sticked up high by Patha. It was a nice play by Zimmerman. We saw something similar last night. Back the other way comes Guarienti. His shot goes wide. Now out high to Royer. Royer going down low to Guarienti again. Now Eddington. Knocked off of there by Zimmerman. Forced all the way back to center. Borzondek. Severn Anderson. Gonna find Eddington, and now coming back the other way, Shirky finding Zimmerman. Try to return it to him. This one winds up in behind the cage. Guarienti. Shirky comes together with him. This one's out to center where Porzanda can play it. Rizzuto enters the zone. Pass comes out of the reach of Gonzalez. And now he gets it back. Tried to center one to Shirky. It was just out of his reach. Another try. That's blocked by Brechko. And now he's knocked down and he's hurt. Brechko down on the ice and not moving. This team's leading goal scorer, who picked up his 9th of the season. And Patha out there with some immediate concern for his top forward on this Midland team. Meanwhile, at center, there's some extracurricular activity going on after the Brechko hit. Good to see Brechko back on his skates. He's helped off by Guarienti. Looks like Keaton Peters gonna have a seat in the box. Responsible for that collision with Brechko. He heads off to the locker room. Brechko does. Wisely, he'll get a penalty. Tommy Caldwell will be assessed a game misconduct. Now they're letting him back out onto the ice. The crowd likes this. He'll head to the box. So they'll free their man, Tommy Caldwell. Now it looks like the referees are just finding out what in the world they want to do with him. He's back out on the ice now. He went from game misconduct to penalty box to out of the penalty box. So for sure, a 2-minute minor will be assessed to Keaton Peters. A 5-minute major will be assessed to Nicholas Gonzalez. He is going to receive the game misconduct here. On the other side, Jared Wisely will sit for 2 minutes. It'll be a 4-on-3 for Midland. They're going to assess a penalty to Matthew McCaw as well for Midland. Caldwell will sit in the box now with Peters. So, the penalty boxes have reached their maximum capacity here. Now they're going to take McCaw out of the box. He'll sit back on the bench. If you're a viewer here, you might be thinking, what are we doing here? Referees have spent the better part of the last 10 minutes trying to figure out what they want to do with these players. And now, back to the action we go. It'll just be a 5-minute power play for this Midland offense here. Wardes enters the zone. Nice play by him on the puck retrieval. Looking for Watton. That one was just out of his reach. Now it comes to Watton again, and now Justice around. Left wing circle. Tries to get it to the net. Tip on goal by Watton. Denied by Benvucci. Now it comes out to Wardes again. Turnaround shot by Luka Kovic. Save, rebound. Justice goes into the netting. Face-off controlled by the Warriors here. This comes out to Jack Royer. He goes across to Trevor Trim. Now Royer again. Back to Trim. Once again, it's Royer. Winds up. That one never made it. Eddington now finding Chun into the crease. Vucci's got it. He was looking behind him, but he's able to scoop it up and keep this a 3-goal game. Their face-off controlled. Trim up high to Royer. Here is a chance for Chun. Looking to go somewhere with it. Retreats to below the goal line. Now he goes out high to Royer again. Jack Royer finding Chun on the return pass. It goes back and forth with Royer. He lets one go. Chun with Vucci down. He gets back up and makes the save on Chun. This one's cleared out. What a brilliant effort by Benvucci to keep the Chun opportunity out of the net. Wardes has got some room. Goes below the goal line. He's got Olsen out high. He'll go to Watton instead. And now Luka Kovic scores. Milan Luka Kovic, who had a hat trick last night, picks up his 5th goal of the season. And that makes it 6-2. So they get a goal on this 5-minute penalty assessed to Gonzalez, and this penalty will go on. Olsen can score as many times as they want. Wardes comes together with Franklin. Wardes comes up with the puck. Here's Watton looking for Olsen. That hopped over his stick blade. 1 minute remaining in the second period. 6-2. And Midland gets this one in. Wardes. Luka Kovic. Watton down below. This comes out high with Justice, trying to work his way to the net. Nice defensive play there by Marks. He gives a little cross check. A couple of them to Watton. Now releasing the shot is Justice. And now it comes out in front to Luka Kovic again on a miraculous save by Benvucci with the arm. Franklin going up to Martin. Off the skate of Watton, now to Eddington. Now Justice shoots one. Benvucci makes the save on the final whistle here in period number 2. 6-2, Midland. A goal-scoring frenzy in this most recent period. Shots are 22-12 in favor of the Warriors here. Total of 6 goals scored in period number 2. We'll be back for period number 3 from the booth. We will see you on the other side of this intermission report on Huskies Nation. As the teams make their way back onto the ice, we welcome you back inside Canlan Sports Leaf Center. I'm James Goronsky in the booth, getting ready to start this third period here. 6-2 in favor of Midland. Huskies trying to show some of that energy, bring some of that energy that they showed for the most part in the first period and the first 5 minutes or so of the second period. One minute and 15 seconds remaining of power play time for Midland. They've already scored 2 goals on this power play. Assessed to Nicholas Gonzalez way back in the 5-minute mark of period number 2. He was assessed at game misconduct. And we are underway here in period number 3. Watton tried to enter the zone but had to retreat back to Wardas. Now they circle back, trying to stay out of the stick of Shirky. This is Olsen working his way around Franklin. Does. Centering pass to Luka Kovic, and that pass was given some trouble by Shirky. Now it goes across Olsen, right there up high. Across to Wardas. Wardas trying to go somewhere with it. He goes to Olsen, one-timer, and that one's blocked off of Peters' glove. Here's Olsen again. Try to get it to the net. Luka Kovic finds it in his skates. Clearing attempt does not get out. Wardas' shot never makes it to the net. Goes off of Peters. Wardas, once again, going to the corner. Jim Franklin down there, and Peters for NIU gets it out. You're looking at Olsen. Now goes back and forth with Justice. Clement forces Justice to turn back, and now clogged up at center. Keaton Peters finds Maldonado. Chun, and now Trim back the other way. Maldonado picks up. Rod and Evans. This one finds its way down behind Benvucci for an icing. Penalty time is up. Face-off will be in the Warriors zone here. Martin takes the face-off. Back to Koval, his shot blocked by McHenry. And he'll throw it all the way down for another Midland icing. Face off, Martin goes to Royer, but his clearing attempt doesn't get out. This one rolls in on Patha, and he denies that. Now a long shot goes to the net. Here's George Smith, his shot wide, rebound, Martin through the crease. Once again, this is George Smith. Tried to get it to Martin, but it was taken away by McHenry. And now he flips it in on Benvucci. He'll pat at it. Back to Marks. Now it's turned over. Here's a shot. That one goes wide. From Donovan, and now the other way comes Zimmerman. He'll just get it in deep and get a line change for Northern Illinois. Severin Anderson. Jack Royer was pressured by Rizzuto. He retreats to Olsen now. Olsen gets as far as center. Porzondek. Blocked by Donovan. On the dump-in attempt, and now Shirky from center finds Weitzel. Weitzel's got some space. He rips one into the glove of Patha, and he'll cover. Face-off is controlled. And now we have a penalty here, it looks to be. It's going to be on Rizzuto. Another Midland power play. Lukakovic takes the face-off. Out high, Olsen looking across for Justice. It was through his skates. He whiffed on the one-timer. Here's Justice. Pardon me. Wardas now shoots one into the glove of Benfucci. Another face-off controlled by Lukakovic. This one finds its way all the way down. Patha out to play it. Justice. And now Wardas. In deep, gloved out of the air by Justice. It goes down low. Now he circles out with it. Here is a long shot by Olsen, got the glass. Now this is fired out of there. Back to move it. Wardas, Justice at center. Moves in there. Marks is back to play it. Well, they get it to center. Round, trim around that Leafs logo. Royer rings it around. McHenry's there. Comes to Eddington. Eddington's got space. Finds across the trim. Pass was in his skates. Could not corral it. And then it rolls in on Benfucci, and that one is swatted out of the air by him behind the net. Now it's out high again. Long shot wide by Lukakovic. Here's Trim again. Hoyer. His shot is blocked by his own man, Eddington. Out to the other side. That centering pass is negated by Jim Franklin, and now back the other way, a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Nice defensive play by Royer on Clement. This one's forced in behind the net. Clement comes out of there with it. And then it's taken away once again. This is Trim. Along, here's a shot, and that goes off the crossbar. From Chun, and now it's rung all around again for Trim to come and get it. Trim again. Bad turnover in front of the net. Here's Go Arienti, and that one is deflected up into the corner. Now what? Gorianti comes together with Evans. Evans. Gorianti comes up with it, centering pass, nobody there. Koval blocked it off, and now it rolls in on Benvucci. He covers up. 13:01 remaining in period 3, 6-2 in favor of Midland. Kovic, and now Porzondek with it for Northern Illinois. Swarmed. Weber comes out with it. That one's gotten out of there. McHenry back to chase it. He's got Caldwell on him. Eddington from behind his own cage. Walks below. And now Luka Kovic finds Weber. Weber up the left side. Centering pass for Justice. It was just out of his reach. Rzutko back the other way. He fires. That one's kicked out with the right pad by Patha. Now back the other way comes Trim. Pardon me, that's number 11, Zach Weber. Rzutko. Tipped by George at center ice. Wisely with it. Goes all the way down the length of the ice. This will be a Midland icing. There's a face-off win by Martin Beck. Smith, and now it rolls in on Patha. Zimmerman was just out of his reach. He's got it now. He breaks Chun's ankles. And he fires in behind the net. Martin tried to get it there. Winning the race is Watton, though. George Smith, nice play to keep it in. And now a turnover. Here's Martin trying to find Smith. Could not. Now Smith gets it back, and he fires one. That's blocked by Watton. Watton across to Peters. Got a chance. His shot wide of the net. Smith on net again. That one rolls just out of the reach of the netminder. Now it's thrown on net, and it's covered by Patha. Stoppage of play. Evans cannot control the faceoff. It's taken away by Wardas. Now we have a stoppage of play here. Penalty for slashing. It's going to go to Donovan, and the Huskies will head to a much-needed power play. Here's Evans with a face-off win. Maldonado up high. Backhands it to Peters. Evans out high. George Smith. Goes down low. Clement back to Smith. Up high to Maldonado. That one rolled under his blade. This one whistled dead. Brought down with a high stick. Oh, they're going to call a high stick on Wardas, so we'll see 1 minute and 35 seconds of 5-on-3 time. Brilliant opportunity for the Huskies to get back into this game. Here is a face-off win by Evans. Keaton Peters with it along the boards. Micah Maldonado has a goal tonight. Looks to Evans. Now back to Maldonado. Over to Evans again. Evans down low to Peters. Pass was in his skates. Goes back to Evans. Down low. That one ripped wide by Clement. Pardon me, that was Smith. Now he's got it below the goal line. This is Clement to Evans again. Evans over to Maldonado. Back to Evans. Evans looks to get it to the net. This is Peters looking to center. Nice block by Eddington. Evans retrieves. Maldonado looking to go cross to Peters. That one's deflected off of the stick and out of play from Fletcher Chun. There's a face-off win by Matt Martin. Porzondik holds on to it. Goes down low to Shirky. Didn't get all of it on the shot. Fanned on it a little bit. Here's Porzondik up high again to Zimmerman. Zimmerman down low to Matt Martin. He tries a shot. That's stopped by the netminder now. Zimmerman trying to wait him out. His shot saved. Ricochets at the front of the net. Now it's back on Zimmerman's stick. Patha had to come up big a couple of times. This is Zimmerman retrieving from Martin. Zimmerman lets it go. Goes off the goal post. Zimmerman retrieves the rebound. Zimmerman over to Porzondik. His shot blocked by number 44, Logan Watton. This is up high to Zimmerman. Trying to go down low to Shirky. Could not. Back to Zimmerman again. Lets it go. That one's deflected wide. First penalty is up. 5-on-4 time. Down low. Now up high, Porzondik. Franklin down low. That's swatted out of there by Watton. And that'll do it for the two minor penalties. They've killed off both of them. Pass was lofting over the head of Jim Franklin. Now he centers, no one home. Marks runs to a wall of Warriors. McCaw comes the other way. Tries a shot, blocked. Rolls in on Benvucci, and he covers. That'll be enough to get a stoppage of play. With 8:17 remaining in a third period that has seen no goals. The majority of them have come in period number 2. That's where we stand, 6-2 in favor of Midland. Wisely. This is down low for Ethan Koval. Looking for a lead pass for Rod and Evans. Picked up by Chun. He dumps it in, paddled, and scooped up by Benvucci for a stoppage of play. Red zone right. Here's Wisely against Rod and Evans. He wins the faceoff. Clearing attempt held in at the boards by Olsen. Wisely. Olsen tried to throw it to the net. Maldonado deflected it. Now he's got it on his stick. He's moving through center. Trying to get around Olsen. Chipped out of there to center. This one goes off the shin pad of Maldonado, and now it deflects into the possession. And now a turnover. Maldonado, toe drag, nice move. He tried to do it second time, and to no avail. Wisely was ready for it. Marks Wisely at center. Goes in deep. Koval to retrieve. Marks back there with him with 7 minutes remaining in period number 3. Ethan Koval skates back with it for this one again. And now Marks. This When touched up, we have a stoppage of play here. Another penalty for Midland. Huskies will head back to the power play. Guarienti will head to the box. Here's a face-off win by Martin to Porzondek. Zimmerman could not handle the pass. He goes in deep. Eddington clears. At center, Porzondek with Zimmerman. So when turned over to Watton, pardon me, this is Wardus. Vucci out to play the puck. This way it comes. Franklin on his backhand, forced to below the cage, and now he's given a rough ride along the boards. Now we do have another penalty. It's going to go to Eddington, and we'll see some more 5-on-3 time for 1:14 seconds. Here's Maldonado to take the face-off. Evans out high. Peters holds on to it. Maldonado with it for Evans. Lets it go. Patha in the crease. Clement could not corral the rebound. It was kicked out of his reach. Now it's Maldonado. That one hops over his stick. Evans from the blue line moves in, goes deep. Looking for Clement on the pass. That one ricochets to Evans. Evans holds on with it now. One-timer try, Maldonado. He scores! They convert on the 5-on-3. It's Micah Maldonado. Double dipping for his 5th goal of the season. That's the team lead. So, it's 6-3. And still 1 minute and 26 seconds remaining of power play time. Rodden Evans picks up point number 101. He's got a 2-point night tonight. Here's Shirky trying to kick to the stick. Pass out of the reach of Porzondek. Now it comes to Martin. Martin goes down low. Lukakovic with speed, clogged up in the defensive zone by Rodden Evans. Lukakovic, back pass, finds the stick of Zimmerman, throws it towards the net. That goes through the crease, and this winds up out of the zone. Porzondek at center. So now this is Evans. Touch pass to Zimmerman. Zimmerman trying to get through. The defense cannot. Now a one-time shot by Smith got the glass. This one goes out of play. Jim Franklin trying to avoid the pressure from Larson and does. This is Keaton Peters. Found the other side, Maldonado. Keaton Peters. And now Evans at center. Gotten by Clement. Clement's got an opportunity. Trying to center to Evans. That pass was blocked. Turning back. Clement enters the zone on a re-entry. This shot goes into the glove of Patha, and he'll stop the clock with 3:21 remaining in a 6-3 lead for Midland. Rodovan Evans. Face-off comes to Eddington. Trim moving in. Trying to shot. That one ricochets up high and into the mask of Marks, and he's down. Play continues. And a shot on Vucci. Now they'll finally blow the play dead as Marks still has not moved. And now there's more. Teams exchanging gloves to faces. Could not tell if the puck ricocheted on the shot up underneath Marks' mask, or if he took a high stick to the mask, but it looks like Trim is going to the penalty box. Good to see Marks on one knee. He's able to get back to his skates. There'll be coincidental minor penalties assessed to Ethan Koval and Trevor Trim. We'll see some 4-on-4 time here. Face-off, controlled. Wisely got it, but then Jim Franklin was able to corral it and move it out the other way. Evans, Maldonado. Here comes Franklin in the zone. Jim Franklin dropping it off for Evans. And now Peters. This one's taken away by McHenry. Ian McHenry's got a breakaway. He shoots it into the glove. Nice save by Ben Vucci. Here's Justice. Face-off won by Smith. Martin around other side of the boards. He's brought down. Play continues. Justice works to the center. His shot wide. Justice comes up with the puck again. Turnover. Here's Olsen's shot. That one's wide of the net. Now, Suda. Picked up by Smith entering the zone. Smith able to get around a couple of blue sweaters. And now Porzondik down low. Trying to center. That goes off the skate of Eddington. Pardon me, that was Olsen. Justice works through. Working his way through the neutral zone. He'll ring it around. Back to get it. Royer. Royer down low and behind. Zimmerman. Nearly turned it over, but he maintained possession. Now he's coming the other way. Puck on the stick of Keaton Peters. And his pass is knocked down by Raleigh Stroud. Coming back the other way. Here's another opportunity. Franklin. Royer knocked it off his stick. Now here's a wraparound attempt by Franklin. Never made it. Rolled off his stick at the last second. That'll do it for these two penalties. Trim and Koval out of the box. Koval's got the puck on his stick. 1 minute remaining in regulation. Trim's shot blocked by Peters. Now it's Shirky moving in. His shot blocked by Eddington. Can always trust him, the captain. Trim finds Weber. Franklin down low below the goal line. Now Maldonado takes a funny hop off the stanchion. This comes to Weber into a crowd of Huskies, and now Clement at center. Clement back the other way, 17 on the clock. Clement turns around. Finding Evans, nice thread the needle pass. Centering pass, and that one is denied by Patha. The refs whistle this one dead. Maldonado on the faceoff. This comes back to Severin Anderson. His long shot, that goes wide. Along the boards, clock ticking, and that will do it. Small crowd attending this away game for Midland likes what they see. Back-to-back wins and back-to-back nights. A 6-3 victory for Midland. Thank you so much for joining game one of our doubleheader. We'll get underway in game two of our doubleheader between D3 Huskies and D2 Wolves. Once again, thank you so much for tuning into this broadcast on Huskies Nation. I'm James Goransky saying good night for now on Huskies Nation.